Good morning. Happy Tuesday, everybody. It is December 3rd. We are live on Daily Spark with Sarah. I am so happy to have you here today because if you are a regular listener, you might feel like, oh my gosh, is she harping? Like, what is going on? I feel like I'm listening to my mom. That's okay. Bear with me. The other side of that coin is I've heard people say, like, I never heard you say that before. I didn't realize that, yada, yada, yada. So, this is the balance of saying it till you are implementing at 100% full throttle across the board because it's just that important. It is the most important conversation we're going to have for the rest of the year into January. And honestly, until I see huge changes going on. Yes, I will bring other topics into Daily Spark, and yet this one is going to be the most important right now. And I'll tell you, I'll decide. Maybe we'll stay on Zoom and I'll go to YouTube. I was going to YouTube live for simplicity, and it seems like in an effort to be simple, it got more complicated. So if I do go that path, and I'll say it here first, it's literally just subscribing to my channel so that when I go live, you're notified, you can pop in. The coolest thing about that is there's no, do I have a link? Do I have Zoom? What's going on? It's just through the internet. So as much as Zoom is just through the internet as well, sometimes Zoom has glitches, goes down, gets clicky, whatever. I've never found YouTube to do that. And so it's my intention to simplify by putting us there, but stick with me. We'll go one step at a time. Okay, so December 3rd, we know where we are in the calendar. I've been harping on that one for sure. We are in the final stretch. You have started writing the final chapter of your 12 chapter story of 2024. And the reality is you'll know right now, are you happy with the chapters you've written so far? Are you happy with the results you have so far? Go back and listen to yesterday for that conversation. It is in the YouTube link. Okay. And for today, I put a bunch of notes because it's just critically important. I want you to think about a few things. First of all, do you want to have success in 2025? Yes. I hope you do if you're here listening, right? Success in your business. The conversation I heard in our mastermind last week was really it really like stuck with me because it said we're addicted to immediate gratification, and the reality is this is a communication business. And that's my version of what was said. What was actually said was we're looking for qualitative solutions to quantitative problems. The way I'm reinterpreting that for y'all is if you think about it, we're looking for the immediate gratification. The reality is our business is no different than life, right? We want to take pills to have results we're looking for. We want to slather on a cream and have magical miracles happen. In our real estate business, we want to know, like, can I get leads? How do I get leads? Who will give me the magic leads of the billion-dollar buyers who are just sitting there waiting for me to answer the leads, right? If we think about it from a communication standpoint, you will have so much more success. You will be in control of your success. And we know that this year we're estimated to end 2024 with around 3.9 million homes sold. We were up around six, I think it was a little over six a few years ago. So it feels different. If it feels different, I'll slow down. That's why, right? It is different. We are at a large number of difference. And the reality I want you to hear is just because the opportunity is less nationally, locally, whatever numbers we're looking at statistically, does not mean your opportunity is less. Your opportunity is whatever you make of it. Okay. So see me with my mom hat on if we need to. It's okay. I'm all in on this conversation. So the first question I've been telling us for a while now is how many people are in your database? Whatever that number is, that's the first part of doing your job and having conversations, right? And can you tell me what every single one of their plans is in 2025 in real estate? I'm going to say something next that might sting a little bit for some of us. And it was really like it hit me between the eye when he said it. I've been invited to, and this person is a national coach and runs masterminds for the top agents nationally. And, it's a really high level of involvement. So he's like, I'm on everyone's email campaigns, and I've been invited to hundreds of agents pie giveaways this year. I don't have anything against the pie giveaway. If that's your jam, keep going with it. What he said next is the most important. So keep listening. I've had zero of those same agents Ask me, what are my real estate plans in 2025? So we're giving away gratitude, generosity, whatever, amazing. And yet, if we're serving our database through events, are we also serving them through knowing what's important to them so you can help them accomplish their goal? I just want you to think about that for a minute, because sometimes when I've said, ask everyone in your database, what are your real estate plans in 2025? I've been met with some really odd energy around it. And I want you to be clear, the odd energy, with all the love and respect in the world, is you. So stop being odd and just go do your job, right? So, how do you do that? Face-to-face conversations, text messages, Google Forms, surveys, social media, emails, whatever way you want to get it done. It's going to depend on the size of your database. If your true database is around 100 to 200 people, I would say call people and ask them. And the conversation goes something like this. Hey, Nikki, it's Sarah. How are you? I hope you've had an amazing year. How was your Thanksgiving? Amazing. I have been watching some stories and some headlines lately, and I've realized I might not be helping you thrive in the world of real estate and education. And I'm calling today to find out, what are your real estate plans in 2025? I don't know. I don't even think we have any. Amazing. You might not have any. The reason I'm asking you is because we know everyone will do one of five things. They'll stay, and most people will stay, right? Maybe you're like most. They'll buy something, they'll sell where they are, they'll invest in additional real estate, maybe commercial, maybe, second home, whatever the case might be, or they'll rent. Right? Everyone's going to do one of five things. And the reason I need to know for you is because if I'm going to be your local real estate expert, your guide in all things real estate in the world, um, not in the world, real estate in the world, right? Then I need to make sure I know what your goals are so I can guide you. Because if you're just watching the headlines and the media, oh my gosh, it can be very misleading, very confusing. Interest rates, inventory, what's going up, what's coming down, is the sky falling, is it amazing, is it terrible, right? So I just want to make sure I'm clear on your goals so I can give you the best information for you versus the headlines, which might be hindering what you're looking to do. So what are your goals in 2025? Right? A simple conversation like that, press play, rewatch it over and over again, have the conversation. And that's the reality of why you're asking the question. Okay. If you're not asking the question, you can't help them. And if you can't help them and they need help, what are they going to do? They're going to go on the internet and search. They're going to drop into one of those lead funnels for someone. And we know the average lead is sold on the internet 16 times, which means if they go on the internet and click buttons, they're probably not going to be sold to one person, but to 16. And if they're sold to 16 people, do you think one of those 16 might be good enough at building rapport and having conversation to get them the information they're looking for because you, their trusted real estate professional of choice, is not asking the questions? I think it's possible. That is why we're asking the questions. Okay. And this will be a rest of the week conversation. There are four things. We're not going to rip through them all in 4 minutes, but I want to make sure you understand that one first and foremost. What is the size of your database? Do you know why you're asking the question? How are you asking the question? Oh, and I said if it's 100 to 200, you're having the phone calls, right? I would look at how many people is your database. Math doesn't lie to us. It's one of my favorite things about numbers, right? For better or for worse, they do not lie to us. So, look at the size and then look at the days you're working. I'm assuming it's 5 days a week, right? And how many conversations can you have in a day? Because that conversation said voice to voice is going to be way more effective. You can make a video if you need to. You can, preemptively send it out to people if that's your jam. I like the authenticity of the conversation and the human to human interaction. If the bulk of your database is like old open house leads and things like that, I would say you can go a different pathway if you want to, and yet is that going to get you where you need to be, right? The best conversation will always be voice to voice, face to face, okay? The second strategy we have is creating buy side demand. We know that buyer interest is at a 30-year low. That's based on mortgage applications, right? So there are cash deals that happen, and yet based on mortgage applications alone, buyer interest is at a 30-year low. That should not make you go like, oh my gosh, the sky is falling. And yet that headline alone could make buyers think what? Ooh, if no one else is doing it, is it the wrong time to do it? Why should I be doing it? I've told you here before, my own mother said to me this year, are you sure it's the right time to buy a house? It is always the right time to buy a house when your reasons are the right reasons, right? So, what is that headline doing for people and what's it doing for sellers? If buyer demand is at a 30-year low, what are our sellers thinking about listing, right? Think of it from that perspective. So there are ways we can control the market of buy side demand, and that's through education and information. It is through opening up the idea of new home sales where they're offering incentives, right? If people can't afford to get in, are there new home sale incentives that they can get to? Are we looking for off-market deals? Are we looking at putting people together through like you said this, you want to sell, you want to buy, you don't want to list, whatever the case might be, making those connections. Are we using the right lenders who know that there's many products available on the lending market? Are we looking at hard money lenders? There's so many different ways to do it. So when you look at creating buy side demand, it's that you have someone who's looking to do something and they need to bring more demand to market. Are you helping them get there? Are you helping people get house hacking at all levels? The younger generation, the average first time home buyer this year is 38 years old. What's everyone doing who's younger than 38? I think they can't afford it. And for many, they can't afford it. And yet, what if they came together and bought a home together and were paying themselves rent versus paying someone else's rent and building equity at the same time? What would that do? Okay. The next two are going to go on creating clear seller expectations and having a meeting a day. And I'm going to get to those tomorrow because I don't want to buzz through them and freak anyone out. I want to really leave you today with we're addicted to immediate results. And I'm going to pull up this quote I wrote down for you guys this morning. It is, there are no dots to connect in conversations you don't have. Okay, so let's stop looking for immediate magic pills. Let's start having conversations. And what that means for you as a real estate professional is the more people you talk to, the more you will start to realize you're like a matchmaker. Oh, somebody's looking for a house in this neighborhood. Oh, somebody's looking to sell in this neighborhood. That only happens when you are having exponentially more conversations, not when you're talking to one person a month, right? So, what are your goals for 2025? I want you to be excited about them, be in alignment with yourself and them, and really start with the first one. The first one is the most important. Once you can weed through your own database and know what everyone's plans are in 2025, and know because you care, know because you want to help them. And if they're just listening to those headlines, what are they thinking? Hopefully, that 30-year buy side demand headline alone will move you into action and make you realize it is my job and my duty as an agent who wants to build a successful business to go have this conversation with more people. So start with number one. What are your real estate goals in 2025? Again, it's the best time of year to do it. I'm going to have you do it all year long, no matter what, until your answer is 100%. But today, this month is the best time to do it. It's a great day to have a great day. Go out and make it true for you. And I will see you tomorrow on Daily Spark with Sarah. Toodles.